What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're recapping UFC Fight Night Vegas 77, Holm versus Bruno Silva. And as always, before we break down the card, go down, like and subscribe, comment your thoughts on this card, which honestly I talked a lot of shit on, and it definitely lived up. I mean, it was way better than what it was supposed to be, in my opinion. But as always, these are your hosts. I'm Paul, pick and win content, and I'm joined with.
Man, you already know it's your boy Kev, Waterboy Savoy, aka the Don PYE, always known as the realest mother trucker on your screen. You feel me, man? And I'm not gonna lie to you, homie. This card was not bad, and I was telling you to put respect on it for a minute, but like I was telling you to put respect on Holly Holm. I wasn't telling you to put respect on the card, so I can't really talk no shit for real. But I enjoyed this card. It was a good card from top to bottom. And I think that UFC 290 hangover is just real. Like I was telling somebody, like I was technically supposed to go meet this girl's parents this weekend, but I was like, nah, I gotta watch the fights. And he goes, and then lawyer got on my ass. He was like, bruh, why the fuck didn't you? Bro, you chose the wrong card to get an argument about? And I was like, nah, you could have put two squirrels in the octagon, and I still would have said no.
I will say this card was the card where me and my fellow boxing fans, every time, like throughout the year, when people were saying boxing cards stink, it is like y'all got a fucking main event with Holly Holm in July. Just live with that.
But that wait, time out. I wasn't gonna bring that up, but this nigga Paul ain't shit. Like we just had the greatest card of all time last week, and in that conversation, this motherfucker really used that because they're arguing boxing versus UFC, and then a lot of the because it's a boxing group chat made by UFC fans. Motherfucking a lot of them niggas was like, yo, boxing, UFC way better than boxing. Me personally, I was like, boxing got too much history. But then I would see yo ass just killing their ass, talking about some, yeah, but y'all got Holly Holmes. Like, I'm gonna be asleep. And I was like, this bitch ass nigga.
Be in the trenches, bro. Even Marcus was messaging me, bro. He was like, "Paul, you're a goat." I was like, "What do I do?" He's like, "Bro, everything that them niggas had to say, brother, you just kept coming back with the heat." I was like, "Bro, I'm not even trying to defend anything. I'm just like, how are we in a boxing chat and boxing's getting shitted on? Like, I just don't understand that." Like,
Yeah, I respect it. I mean, I don't boxing has way too much history to even compare it to. UFC is only 30 years old. But I will say this is the 1 year that like boxing is going crazy, crazy with the motherfucking fight. So I don't know if they're gonna keep on doing it, but at the moment it's pretty tight even.
people trying to tell me that Poirier versus Gaethje is gonna be better than Bud versus Spence, bro. I'm like, I don't know
I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit might be more like exciting,
what
and
the
like
fight means
just
and like the weight of it.
just yeah, but like just bleed. Like if you're looking for a just bleed them type of vibe, I definitely would give it to Justin Gaethje and them. But it's if you're talking, we're talking like epic. Like is like this
Big
shit will have
proportions.
this shit will have generational motherfucking like generational like the outcome of this will literally affect an entire generation. So like you gotta respect this card. Just respect that motherfucker.
Yeah, but I mean, speaking of respect, I didn't respect the card that we're about to break down. But afterwards, like I said earlier, I thought it definitely did way better than what we were expecting. Even if Holly Holm didn't win,
But
even if Jack Della Mandela didn't look as fabulous as we would hype him up to be, but still,
I I do gotta share one thing, bro. I know everybody is lit right now, but this is my favorite tweet. It's a the caption for this was no more Holly Holm main event.
yeah, no, but I wouldn't be shocked if 2024 they still try to fucking squeeze one in. But they better not. They better remember all these memes people were dropping before they think about putting Holly Holm on another main event at like 42 years old.
No cap, but we gonna see. But that I had to share that one. We're gonna talk more deep in that. But Paul man, where do you want to start first? I say the first fight of the entire card.
Well, as always, before we jump into the card, the new segment that's been rolling about 2 weeks strong now is we called that shit. And the only thing I really got for this one, I was looking. The only thing I got is the Bruno Silva submission. I did say that she be nasty. She can submit you on the feet. She can submit you on the ground. Holly Holm might try to wrestle a little bit, and then that's when you'll start seeing some submissions. But Bruno Silva guillotine submission. Shout out guillotine season, Kev. She got it
Yeah.
done in the second round.
It was technically a ninja choke, they called it.
A ninja choke. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know in the book it went down as guillotine on like ESPN, but that's even a ninja choke sounds even
Yeah,
better.
Kenny Floria was explaining it to John Anik that it's like a ninja choke. It's just some like crazy shit. Like it's just crazy. It's just a little bit unorthodox, and that's not something you really catch somebody standing up at least. So it's pretty fire. But I think something else you could add was that a JDM was you said that JDM was going to be affected by this weight cut, and it really looked like it.
I'm so mad because I took the bet. I mean, I hit 2 of the 3 bets I posted for everyone to follow. One of them was the Silva submission or decision, cash that plus money plus 175, and then the Hafez versus JDM to go past 1 round, another plus odds. So it was like plus 110 when I took it, and I was so mad because for the fight to go to decision was staring at me at like plus 450, and I was like,
oh wow.
I was like, nah, JDM should JDM probably still get it done in the second or third. But then I kept thinking, I was like, Hafez is no joke. He be training with killers. He's a big guy. He's never been knocked out. I checked in his career. So then I was like, I don't know, maybe, but I didn't take the bet. Unfortunately, it would have been a big cash day. But yeah, no, JDM, that double weight cut definitely affected him. So I'm not gonna hold this close fight that much against him whenever we break it down.
Yeah, that is a lot of weight to cut, and then maintain that weight. That is pretty tough.
Back weeks, that's kind of nutty.
And then on top of that, like Hafez almost missed weight. Like he had to get an extra hour to lose 0.5. And it's like, oh shit. if JDM can come on weight, bro, you gotta come on weight. Even though it was days notice.
Can't have no fucking Charles Oliveira in this bitch.
Nah, but that's a whole different story. You don't get me into that because my dog.
I'm not opening no can, bro. I ain't doing it.
But the champ has one name.
Islam Makhachev. But let's get into it. What fight you said you want to start with?
Bro, I gotta start off with Perez because Romeo Mack would be so hot.
I missed this fight, so I honestly didn't jump into this card until the Azat fight. So let me know what I missed.
I mean, it wasn't too crazy a fight. I mean, she won. I want to say she won by UD, but it could have been split. She just pretty much ran the entire fight from on the feet and on the ground. Like there wasn't really shit you could do with it. But these motherfuckers in the group chat, motherfuckers.
She said Romeo Max. I already know it's ought to be something out.
Right, these niggas was in this bitch talking about some motherfucking boo. She just knows I can't give out too much because I'm not. That's the rules of the group chat is what the rules is. But like, just know that they were talking about some like. Just know Perez has the booty meat. She was a top contender for the booty meat award, and then this is before her fucking.
That's such a funny word to me, like booty meat. Like when I see Romeo Max say the word booty meat, I just can't help but like chuckle a little bit.
Bro, that should be kidding. One of my favorite Soulja Boy songs is called Booty Meat, and it's because the shit is called Booty Meat. So motherfucking man, she was pretty thick. I ain't gonna lie to you. I seen her at the weigh-ins, and I was like, oh, okay. But the thing that fucked me up was that at her post-fight interview with DC and the motherfucking translator, she got this nigga pulled out a whole ass corn dog. But she pulls out she starts twerking, and I was like, oh my god, I know these niggas gonna go crazy. I'm talking niggas going crazy in the chat, crazy, motherfucker, you got niggas posting like, good lord, and I was like, I kind of see this. I'm black. We kind of see this every time they turn music on. But this is good. This is cool too. The UFC needs more of this. But that was pretty much the biggest takeaway from that fight. Erica Perez, or whatever her first name is. Everybody's fucking with her. She's looking like she's about to get the Mackenzie Dern treatment soon.
Oh, well, shit. We'll see. Alan Perez. We'll see. I mean, is that her first fight in the UFC?
I don't think so.
Holy shit, bro. The total, she had 127 strikes landed versus the other girl's 13.
Yeah, she killed it. It wasn't even close.
What the fuck? She beat the shit out of her.
It wasn't even close.
There was 2 30-25s in a 3-round fight. What the fuck? She beat the dog shit out of her.
You understand why she was twerking afterwards? She still had energy left.
That's
insane. Going to the club.
Oh man, but the next fight, the fight I guess I'll bring up first. It's Kev brought up the first fight. I'll bring up the second. Azat Maksum split decision win over Tyson Nam. Tyson Nam, like I said, 40 years old in the fucking flyweight division, kind of nuts, but he is definitely the bar of a UFC fighter at flyweight. And if you can beat Tyson Nam or Tyson Nam, I'm not sure how you exactly say it, then like you're probably gonna be ranked top 15 eventually. Like so split decision win, but all metrics point towards Nam winning. He had double strikes landed, almost double significant strikes landed. Maxim shot 11 takedowns, only got 2, and only for a control time of 20 seconds. So it's not like that was even effective. Nam kept getting right back up. But Nam ends up, but Maxim gets the split decision win in his UFC debut, moves to 17-0. But what I saw most of it was like, okay, you are not a Tatsuo Taira. You are not these world beaters as of right now. Maybe you can learn from your camp and everything, learn from the fight. But he kept head down, blitzing, and you'll get cracked with like a check left hook, get cracked with overhand right as he's trying to blitz in. And then he couldn't get takedowns secured. And when he did get the takedown, it's not like he even like did anything with it. Nam kept getting right back up. And Nam's not really, he has good takedown defense, but we've also seen him be put on the ground for long periods of time. So, like, I don't know. It was a very underwhelming UFC debut for me for this Kazakhstan warrior who, like, Kazakhstan, other than Rakhimov right now, they're kind of going out kind of bad.
Bro, I hate the group chat. I'm never checking that shit during the podcast.
Oh, never.
I checked the rap zone. Shit, these is disrespectful. They talking about Baby right now. But shout out Brody winning his UFC debut. He looking like he just wants to continue doing bigger, better things. He said in his post fight interview that the dude that beat Ismagulov, the American wrestling ass motherfucker.
Yep.
He was like, I could get out there with bro just because he beat one of my fellow countrymen. So I was
like, get slaughtered, bro. That's like a 40-pound difference.
I want to say that was a person that said that because they're both Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah, no, they are. And he's the only Kazakhstan fighter on this card. But like, bro, like I want to say Ismagulov fights a lightweight, which is 155, and flyweight is like 115.
Maybe I got it. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe somebody else said that, but dude was definitely called out the dude that beat Ismagulov.
It might have been. I wouldn't be shocked if it was Nazim Sadikov. He's not Kazakhstan, but he's in the lightweight. He just beat Terrence McKinney. I wouldn't be shocked if it was him, but I don't know if it was Azat. The fucking balls on him.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Them they weigh 115 by themselves. If he's calling him out. But where do you want to jump to next, Kev? Do you want to go broken arm?
Broken arm? No. We just say that. Oh yeah. We can talk. That's literally the next one on my thing, the broken arm. Because a nigga take notes today.
34 seconds. Not much exciting, except for Nunes. I don't know if it's dislocated or it was a broken arm, but in the books, it's a knockout for Judo Silva.
I think I'm mad that that's not a bigger thing, like the injury TKO. Like that's not a really thing because like Tom Aspinall's last fight is an L to Curtis Blades, but he got injured. Like I can understand like a Brian Ortega situation last time he got hurt.
For that one, I was just about to say, bro, everyone gives Tom Aspinall the like, oh, it's not his fault. But every time they bring up Brian Ortega, everyone's like, yeah, he lost. I'm like, no.
Like I could give it to Brian Ortega or like a TJ Dillashaw. Like, I feel like what the person did to you is the reason why I got broken. So like, I can understand. But these be like non-contact injury. That's like saying Odell got like that's like saying Odell in the Super Bowl. That was a non-contact ass injury.
Nah, man, we can't. If we're talking football, Dudokova stiff-armed her ass into the dirt, and then she broke her arm. So like, if anything, that's some contact. She said, yeah.
I respect
Heisman. The Heisman stiff-arm high step got out of there. Looked back like, damn, did I do that?
Maybe it's because her last name Nunez and I fuck with her. And you know how I feel about the Nunez's. Like like the adopted baby Nunez. So motherfucking I don't know, but like I think they should start throwing out the word injury a little bit more in that motherfucker. Like what injury TKO by doctor stoppers. Like, yeah, come on now.
Yeah, no, because they had doctor stoppage TKO, but the the doctor's saying homegirl broke her arm in the ring, can't fight no more. It don't count. Don't count.
But me personally, I'd make you have to put a picture of my shit right there. Like, bro, I need you to see like my shit. My elbow looked like it did not connect to my shit no more.
I would say this was one of the more tragic things because it happened in the Apex, and I could hear the girls' screams. That was so like I wasn't even looking at the camera. I just hear, "Oh my god!" And all I hear, I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I turn and she's just grabbing. I was like, "Did I just hear like someone like that's the sound of pain? Like, did I literally just hear the sound of like legit this pain from the TV?" And it was. I was like, "Damn."
I was in the kitchen. I heard that shit.
I hope a swift recovery for Nunes, but also, I mean, due to a COVID 7-0, I don't know what to expect out of her. I don't know if this is her debut or what, but breaking people's arms, I got you on my radar.
Mm-hmm. No, that shit was great. But yeah, we're praying for her right there. But before we got out of the prelims, I want to talk about Tucker Lutz and Bagdasarian.
Melsik Bagdasarian.
Oh, you've been taking the John Anik speech classes, I see.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't break down this fight too well, but I remember watching this shit and thinking like, I feel like Lutz is not a hoe. I feel like he's not a bitch. That boy Bagdasarian, if he's nice with it, I feel like he just got gassed the fuck out. I feel like in the third round, dude was like extra lethargic. But the whole fight, he kept control, and I was like, I do kind of fuck with his fight style. And he's 8-2. I'm like, okay, let's see what bro can do in this division.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the asses. I was looking at them boys is buff as fuck, low key. Like I'm thinking that they were low key lightweights, and then I checked, and I was like, oh, these motherfuckers are featherweights. It's crazy.
And I see featherweight fighters like him. He's like, I think they said he was 5'9" or 5'10" on like whenever they did like the things. And I was just sitting there like, bro, I could never make featherweight. There's no
that shit crazy. 5'9" Lutz was 5'8".
Skedaddling out of the prelims. We got Nazem Sadikov getting the submission win, rear naked choke over T-Rex Terrence McKinney. This was one of the bets I took was Terrence McKinney money line. I thought it was a good like read of the room. People were out on McKinney. But I mean, Nazem got this rear naked choke, but I will point out he was grabbing the fuck out that fence multiple times. So then when he got on Twitter and talked some shit, all the people in the comments was just like because he said something, he talked some shit to T-Rex. And then a whole bunch of people, Twitter is out on T-Rex. They don't give a fuck about T-Rex.
Twitter does not fuck with T-Rex.
So they weren't defending T-Rex. There was more just coming for Sadikov to have the audacity to talk shit after like grabbing the fence multiple times.
Yeah, this is real. I mean,
I want to see more points taken in UFC for shit like this. Like you get one, hey, don't do that. Maybe a second one, like, bitch, what did I tell you? But by that third one, I want to see a point. I want to see fucking stand them up, take that point, do it.
It's situations like these that make me realize that like the UFC is a business. They don't really give a fuck about what we want for real. Because like I look at this shit and I feel like that the cage grabbing thing was something that they like genuinely told the refs like, yo, don't if you see it, stop it, but don't stop the fight for that shit. Because like. Even a couple of weeks ago, Herb Dean was had to like change languages, telling bro that was grabbing the foot with his the cage with his foot and shit. So like that's the I don't think they should take points. I think they should like stop just fix the position. So like they were bringing it up on the MMA hour. They was like, bro, if you got taken down and you grab the cage to stop the takedown, then you should the position should start with you on bottom. We're like. If you're using the cage to stop a submission or something like that, they just fix the position and take it to the middle. That's what I would do, and I agreed with that. Taking point, I think it's something because they say, but Ariel Helwani was on some shit like, bro, I think the first warning should be in the locker room. I think before he left, they should tell your ass. They should be telling them, do not grab the cage. Like whenever they're going over what rules or whatever, do not grab the cage. And then the second warning should be coming the octagon. And after that, then it should be points taken.
I think I agree with the whole put the position thing. Maybe not take the point, but I also think it should be treated like a, like how in boxing, if you get knocked down, but it was an illegal punch, or if you just slipped, it'll look like you got knocked down. Like the ref says, like don't count it basically, like with his arms, and it lets the judges know, like, okay, those last 10 seconds, erase it from your memory. Like that never happened. So similar to that, if someone's able to use the cage to get to your back, and then they have to, the ref should be able to like freestand them up and then basically tell them like, well, we're not like, don't count that as anything and for blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
I just think I I'm on low key the UFC side of this because I'm just thinking like I feel like if this did start happening more, there would be a lot of controversial stand ups. There'd be like a lot of controversial ass. You took me out of position. You did. There'd be like a lot of shit, and it was just like it's just easier to be like,
The
yo, bro,
only
don't.
reason why I say take a point is because I feel like I'm starting to see it not more often, but I see certain fighters that do it, and they don't just do it like once. They typically do it multiple times, and I'm just like, at what point are we drawing the line in the sand of like we're gonna take a point for this?
Leon Edwards versus Kamaru.
Yeah, and like if you start doing it, and then also you're neck, and also like, what if you're doing is multiple fights, but you're doing it only twice, so you're not getting points taken away. Like sometimes I feel like Draymond is quick to get a technical foul just because we know that's how he plays. So like if we know you're grabbing fences and we see you grab a fence, maybe as a ref, as like to start to take that point immediately, like so we know from here on this fight, like we're
I
not.
mean, I think you can do that with nut shots. I think you can do something like that with
Oh
nut shot.
yeah,
I just think the grab in the cage. I think the grab in the cage is just like such a just like a reflex and like for in a lot of situations, so it's tough. And like the biggest thing about it is, I just look at it like
all right.
it is what it is. Like it just I feel like it was by trying to change it. It's still, I think it's when it gets excessive is when you should do something like motherfucking like if the fucking ref has to take your hand off the fucking cage and you do it again, like all right, now let's warn, but let's do a little bit more than a warning, homie. Like let's figure something out.
All right. And but so outside of that, my other question for this fight is Terrence McKinney. Where are we
Who was
going?
good in the first round?
Yeah, he was looking good. Like I felt pretty confident after that first round. So I was like, okay, so but where do we go with this with him? Like last four fights, he's 1-3 with the one win over Eric Gonzalez, with losses to Ismail Bonfim, who just lost,
Killed him.
Nazem
Killed him.
Sadikov, who hasn't lost yet in the UFC, I don't believe, and then Drew Dober. But that fight was like a 5 minute like firefight where like Drew Dober got knocked down, got back up, and then knocked down Terrence McKinney, and then like so they were just banging it out. It was kind of one of the best fights of last year. And so that was his knockout loss to him, and but he does still have wins over Matt Frivola,
He beat
and
Steamroller?
yeah, he knocked out Steamroller in his debut
Oh,
in
that was before the Ray Longo days.
2021, and then he got a submission win in like 2 minutes over Fares Zaim, who's a French fighter, or it might be like Zaim. I don't know. He's a French fighter, and he actually fights at UFC London next week. But I mean, losses to Sadukov, Bonfim, and Drew Dauber are not bad losses. They're just all kind of young in their career. Like, who knows how that they all pan out too. So, like, maybe you give T-Rex the benefit of the doubt, or is it like, hey, maybe he's not really a top 15 contender that we thought he could potentially be?
I think he just needs to go get a dub because I didn't know about T Rex until he got KO'd by Bonfim. And even though I think I did see that Drew Dober fight, but I didn't really know too much about T Rex beforehand. And I mean, I just think he just needs to go out there and just get a win, no matter what. It doesn't matter what anybody's saying about you. Get the fuck off of Twitter, do whatever you got to do, but just get a win. Go get a win, and then let's figure out what your directions are. Because like you could have just fought like a bunch of hitters in a row. Because we even said this in the preview. It was like, damn, I wouldn't be surprised if he lost this one. This dude's low key a hitter. And that sucks because like he got caught bad in the last one. Then he lost this one, and like you were winning, and you really showed promise in this fight. But once you once bro just got the upper hand, he immediately got that choke and it was a wrap. And he had his arm behind his back. That was just disrespectful. So like there was like I don't know how big a deal that is, but I feel like it was way less defense with your arm behind your back.
No, that's true. All right, well then we gotta move the story along. We got three fights in a row here that are all ass whoopings. Start with the women.
She's a
Norma,
runner, she's a track star.
she's a runner. She's a track star. That was a great tweet, Kev. Shout out, Kev. That was a funny ass tweet on Totally Blitz Twitter. But Norma Dumont just beating the brakes off Chelsea Chandler. They talked all they shit before the fight, and then going into the fight, I actually picked Chandler, and I had Chandler like as on my big dog parlay bet. Didn't cash. Yeah, it didn't cash, but Norma Dumont just fucking like she literally had her running. Like I don't think I've ever seen that before, where like someone literally running the other way from somebody.
Bro, we fucking died on the live stream when that shit happened. Like Twitter was a fucking frenzy. But this fight was good. I mean, Norma Dumont just showed that she's her and a half. But before we get too deep in the fight, I want to talk about the weigh-in drama beforehand though. Because like you see, I don't know what made them, why they didn't like each other, or what made Chandler feel like she had to like kind of like try to own Dermont, but she felt like she needed to. And motherfucking, she threw the she just flicked her off, and then Dermont sent two back at her, and I was just like, oh. And then like in the way, and they're just talking that shit. They're looking at each other, ready to go, type shit, and it's just
Kept
like
talking.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Definitely made the fight interesting going into this fight. I mean, I knew who Norma Dumont was. I knew Chelsea Chandler was the rising star possible. She only has one win and one fight in the UFC, but like everyone was giving a lot of promise to her. But Norma Dumont's kind of been the standard at the division, and only losses is like split decision to Macy Chaseon, who's a really good fighter herself. So like, but shit, Norma Dumont showed that like, hey, you can't bring somebody new and try to beat me. I'm just gonna beat the brakes off of them. But I don't know. Norma Dumont, I don't think ever has been in like an argument before in the UFC. So maybe I think it probably is the new girl. Maybe this is Chelsea Chandler's stick.
No, this is crazy, but this is also in the 145 division. I forgot that there were people in that besides Amanda Nunez. So like they were just talking about like what does this open up for? Because there's a terrible rumor that Ronda Rousey is supposed to attempt to make a return. I don't think that's smart. Even if like I don't know how true that is. I don't know who brought it
I
out
saw
there
that
and
too.
why it's going crazy. But I think that'd be a terrible idea for her, me personally. But now you got somebody like Dermot. Is there a reason to have this motherfucking division still?
If people are gonna be fighting at it, go ahead. Because Dumont wasn't. I don't think she fought a featherweight in her last fight against Rosa. Let me see. I can double check that right now. Because I want to. If not, it's just like no, they fought at featherweight also. I don't know. Apparently, if right now it's looking like to me, it might be Macy Chaseon versus Norma Dumont for the featherweight title again. Like if Nunez, because Nunez is gone, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
Ronda Rousey can get fast tracked into the winner of that if she does come back, and it might help the UFC make some money.
Yeah, that's real. But the thing about it is, if you do that, who the fuck is going to defend the belt? Because it's different for Nunez because she was the double champ, so she can still defend the belt at 135, no problem. And if there was a 145, she could do that.
And
But
I think
she
some people may be coming up the woodwork if like Nunez, the big scary monster at the top that no one could beat, is gone. You might have some people at 135 that don't want to keep making that weight, and they might think, hey, I can go dominate 145, and he might,
no, and I think it's low
at
key.
145 might be like, fuck it, like, oh, I'm fine for the belt now. I actually got a shot to win it.
And I think it would be interesting to have a dominant, like a field, not even dominant, just a field division in 145 because like I don't think it's hard to make 135 as for like women's MMA fighters just because like the natural build of a women's MMA fighter is like usually something a little less than something manageable to make 135
Bring
or anything
bring
lower than
Chris
that.
Cyborg old ass over here.
That's what I'm saying because she's in bare knuckle right now doing her thing. But
Ronda Rousey versus Chris Cyborg for the vacant featherweight title, screw everyone in the division. That would
oh
sell.
man, who was it? I was actually watching a video. There's she's an action star. Her name's like Karina or something like that. They was talking about maybe her and Ronda Rousey selling it out because it's like because but she's from the WEC and like she technically has a contract with the UFC because she had four fights left on her WEC contract before Zuffa took it over. So there was a Ronda Rousey fight. It would probably be like her versus her type shit. I gotta get a name, but it was like this former women's fighter that went to acting, but it was also before like the blow up of women's MMA.
Well, I'm here for the super fight, but I'm
Hell
also
yeah!
here for normal Dumont.
But what other ass whooping went down? You talking about dog Iron Turtle?
Iron Turtle getting the submission, and like really was doing it on the feet as well against was it Albert Durarov? Yeah, Albert Durarov knocked him
Killed
down, got on top, rear naked choke, all she wrote.
and hit the dance moves on him. Got the busting moves on his ass.
I didn't know he looked. Iron Turtle, I think, I'm pretty sure he's a pretty quiet guy. So like when he started busting the dance moves, I personally was not expecting that.
He gives quiet old Asians. He gives quiet old sage vibe. But like when that dance, he was giving Uncle at the barbecue. I was like, okay, my dog, I fuck with you.
And then we followed up that one with Francisco Brado knocking out Ottoman Azatar. This one was a first round knockout, but it was like his punches landed. Like when he landed, they landed, felt them. And then I think after the couple of those landed, and he was looked more crisp on the feet too. Like I felt like Azar, he just kind of couldn't do nothing after that. Like he kind of was more timid, and then Prado just kept land, and then we eventually landed the punch to wobble him, and then KO'd him.
Yeah, what got me the shit that wobbled him was the elbow, and like I swear this was the slowest spinning elbow I've ever seen, but it just landed so point, like it just landed a perfect spot. And after that, he just got the wailing on his ass. This was a good stoppage, and it was a good setup for the rest of the card.
And then we had the Jack Della Medina JDM split decision win over Basil Hafez.
Damn, where the energy at, man? We talking a co-main event. Paul's big homie, JDM, Mister. I can make weight twice.
But I was telling everyone he's making weight twice, back to back weeks, but that's gonna affect him. I cashed it going past the first round. I should have put more money on it and put it up to finish to go to decision. But did you think he won? I thought he won, but a whole bunch of Twitter was an uproar about Hafez in his control time, and I was like, I don't know. JDM was looking like he was doing more damage every round.
So on the live stream, I thought I was the only one, and we all thought that JDM was getting fucked up, but I was the only one that didn't think he lost. Oh my god! Oh my god! Paul, the shit that just went down on the
Because he
ultimate.
definitely had a control time in every round, but like he wasn't doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, so like we all were watching the fight on the live stream, and we're thinking, "Oh, JDM's getting fucked up." What I realized early was that I was the only one that didn't think JDM was losing. I think you could give Hafez the first round, and Hafez fucking fought great the entire card, and I think he was getting best of intentions with him. His wrestling was fucking great, but I don't think he was doing anything while wrestling. So like, I don't know, this is one of those things where like a lot of us don't just know what the fuck the judges are looking at. Because if this was Islam, they probably it would be a different story. But Islam would be like significantly holding them down though. So like I don't even want to say no crazy shit like that. But I think JDM won the fight straight up. I think he got tested. And then I found out why everybody was tripping too, because like JDM has won like 15 fights in a row. And motherfucking his two losses were like early in his fucking career type shit. And then all of them have been damn near first round KOs. So really, we just want to see like what the fuck would have looked like if Sean Brady was able to fight him.
I keep hearing that Sean Brady fight, but I don't know. But Sean Brady got dusted on the feet by Belal Muhammad, and
But that's below though.
yeah, but Belal, if we're just talking about striking on the feet, JDM, I think, was definitely higher than what Lil is on the feet.
Hmm.
JDM can also submit too, but I just don't know about his wrestling, especially in this
Yeah, I
fight.
don't,
Definitely sus. If Sean Brady wrestle fucks him, then it could be a different story.
yeah, I don't know if his wrestling's all the way there like that. But I feel like this is a division that don't have too many crazy wrestlers. Like you got to deal with the Kobe Covingtons and Brian Barberenas
Beal,
and who?
Belil.
Belil, yeah, but like yeah, Belil Muhammad definitely. But like I don't know if there's crazy wrestlers in this motherfucker.
Oh, was this? Oh, it's only welterweight. I was about to say if it's middleweight, yeah, Bo Nickel, but no. Um, Next fight, the main event. Holly Holm gets submitted in the second round to Myra Bruno Silva. I I had a feeling it was gonna be submission, but I didn't. The bet was like plus 250 to take submission, and I was just like, this could go decision, and if it goes decision, I think she could still squeak it out. But
Let me
I'm
say one more thing about Hafez is
oh
that I found out the next day nigga has a lawn care service. So I'm just sitting there thinking like low key he might have been a genius. He if on it from a business point of view, this man took the fight last second, took all the money that Dana would have paid him and just invested that back into the business. I'm just saying, like, boy, I'm just saying.
and I think
And on top of that,
Dana White usually pays the people that fill in for fights so a pretty good takes care of them. So I'm pretty sure he got a nice little paycheck.
yeah, nah, Dana fuck with him for that. You know Dana likes niggas that do favors.
Yeah,
But
and
back to what
he
you
made
were
the fight
saying.
look very competitive too. So
Hell yeah. Like everybody thinks he won.
yeah, so like Dana White is somebody who I think was gonna give us 50K, 100K, whatever.
Everybody except the experts. Nobody that is on a podcast talking about it says that JDM. Maybe Knuckles on the Bourbon and Blitz, Bourbon and Bud. But I don't nobody's really said any JDM lost on the podcast and stuff. Only like the the diehard fans and casuals have been screaming JDM lost.
Well, I want to see because he always has quick turnarounds. So I want to see him fight again. You know, you can always write a close fight with like a dominating fight right after.
They're talking September because they're going to Sydney.
I
And
like.
Volk's on the card. And Whitaker probably isn't going to be either.
But back to the main event. I mean, Silva getting the submission win, ninja choke, as was just explained to me earlier, on Holly Holm. And that's one thing I think I like about Silva the most is like she's not the one shooting the takedowns when she gets submission win, which you don't really often hear. So like she's getting these submission wins on pretty high level fighters. I mean, she submitted Gillian Robertson, who'll be submitting the fuck out of a lot of people. So like I like her just because she's in her submission. I don't know. I really enjoy like a submission artist, like somebody who can just really like Charles Oliveira on his run. You just kind of like
Yeah.
yeah, like as soon as you get locked in, it's like, oh, this fight's over. The guillotine's in, or he's triangles in. A Paul Craig, who when he's not butt scooting. I like submission artists that aren't butt scooting. So no Kron Gracie. Paul Craig is right now on my shit list.
Sometimes you got to scoot that thing. But I fuck with Bueno Silva. I mean, everybody was lit that motherfucking No More Holly Holm main events. And it's funny because, like, I'm sitting on the fence when it comes to that, even though I did tweet that shit out. But before we get into that, Bueno Silva she showed nice. She showed promise on her feet, and she got the submission. And she's showing that like, yo, I'm a problem in this fucking division. And at first, I thought she was really full of herself in the beginning, just because of how she was telling them like nobody wants to see Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. And I'm like, yo, Juliana Pena did kind of like submit Amanda Nunez, even though she. So like you kind of gotta give her a respect. Like we might not like her, but we do gotta respect her because like not too many people can say they beat Amanda Nunez, no matter what the circumstances were. So I thought she was like feeling herself too much, and Holly Holm was gonna take this to a 5-round decision, and he was just gonna strike with her. No, no, nope, that wasn't a thing. Motherfucking, I know Holly Holmes is getting a little older and everything like that, but like she just showed the same motherfucking promise in each of her fights. Like she got the differential. Holly Holm won with the
I
total
say she
strike.
looked good the first round. I got a little worried in the first round.
Yeah, she looked good. She got the total strikes, but once Bueno Silva got his hands on her, it was a wrap.
41 years old. Do you think Holly Holm should think about retiring? Maybe finish out her contract. I'm not sure what it is, and then time to run off into the sunset.
I'd finish out the contract, but I respect Holly Holmes, even though I'm lit that there's no more Holly Holm main events. I'm gonna keep screaming that, but like they're probably gonna do one or two more. I'd fight out my contract because she still has it. She literally was like really just, and she has the same strategy for every fight. So like, if it's not broke, don't fix it type shit. Even though she just lost, but if she could, I would try to fight out my contract, depending on how many fights there are. Maybe there's one or two more fights left for her, but like just figure out a smooth way to end gracefully. That'd be smooth, just like how Robbie we just saw Robbie Lawler do it. But this is my thing about her legacy. It's she's 8-7. She's a boxing Hall of Famer. She did what she did in women's boxing, and then I didn't think about it, but women's boxing wasn't what it was now that it was when Holly Holm left type shit. So like it would make sense to make the switch to the UFC. So she's 8-7, and she's only lost to 7 hitters, and there's a good chance Bueno Silva is gonna be another one of those fucking hitters. But like, if you saw her walking to the motherfucking ring, it was looking like I can't tell if she's dehydrated, if she's really focused, or if she just doesn't want to be there. But like, I wouldn't say that she's like Derek Lewis in this motherfucker, but like the look on her face was just crazy.
It's hard to keep wanting to get back into the octagon, like just over and over. Like even Cowboy when he was doing it, he wasn't doing no like full fight camps. He was like fill-in fighter status. Like fuck it, I'm fit right now. I'll take the fight.
That shit's real. I mean, it is what it is, but like it's like I'm sitting on the fence when they talk about Holly Holmes being like one of the greatest women's combat fighters ever. And like, I mean, you have to, because like you literally won a championship in boxing. She also won a championship in the UFC, and you beat probably the most popular women's fighter ever. So it was like you gotta respect it. But at the same time, I'm just like, to each his own. Like I think of one person that was really, really, really nice at boxing, and one person that was really, really nice at UFC can like jump her when it comes to the combat sports thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to see her boxing thing. I don't. I know she was checking it. She was a welterweight, so she was big in boxing. 33-2, and the one of her losses, she got knocked out to 25-0 fighter who went on to be champion. And then she righted that wrong with the rematch and beat them unanimous decision.
Nice.
Yeah, so like, and then she boxed up to 2013. She started in 2002.
So yeah, damn, that's a lot of fights. That's a lot of
Yeah,
fights
that's a
in years.
decade. I didn't know she was. I knew she boxed for a while, became multi-champion. I'm not sure if she went undisputed, but I think she was unified.
She's nice with it. Respect to her. So like, but I think if there's like somebody that just does nothing but leaps and bounds in motherfucking boxing, or somebody that just does shit we've never seen before in UFC, can pass that greatest combat style, even though she won championships in both.
No, facts. Definitely,
But
because I don't know enough about Holly Holm's back history in boxing to really even like defend that. So like, definitely could be true. We see like a John Jones type of fighter on where he just is undoubtedly the goat.
I think we need to see a Manny Pacquiao type of women's fighter. She starts really small and then she just goes up, fucking everybody up type shit. I'd be like, yeah, there's no denying her.
Yeah,
But
back.
what's up with Bueno Silva, man? Because she was ranked 10th before this fucking fight. She just beat third round Holly Holm, who was knocking out, who was UD contenders like crazy. How the fuck do you see this going for Bueno Silva? Because they gotta get a champion ASAP. UFC can't have two vacated belts at the same time. This shit looks crazy right now. So they got who? Where do you see her in the title contentions?
I mean, at this point, it's probably going to be Pena Pennington, but Silva's definitely caught the eye of Dana White. I think with this win, where if the paperwork don't add up for that fight, I think we might see a Silva Pena. I think Pena is automatically gonna be in the title fight, unless barring injury. I think because the way she won't ever shut the fuck up, she's gonna be the one that gets this title fight. And she did beat the former champ and was gonna fight her. Probably everyone thought afterwards.
And
But
Dana's a big Pena fan.
yeah, so I think it's either she might be like pulled like a Brandon Royval or Kobe Covington and just be like the backup fighter for the Pennington Pena fight. Or like I said, the paperwork don't add up for Dana. It might be see Pena Silva. Maybe even the Ketlin Vieira versus Silva fight in the meantime to see who wins out of them two. Because Ketlin Vieira is, I think, fighting next week at UFC London. And then
Mm.
so they're both on the same track of like, oh, we both got to stay busy if we're not fighting for the belt. To see number 3 and number 4 go at it, and whoever wins that probably fights the winner of Pennington Pena.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking like if she made weight for the as a backup fighter, because I don't think she needs a another fight to be considered like the next person next. But if she took a fight in the meantime, that would only and won that would only just boost her stock to like and then get her ready for whoever wins out of Pena Pennington. But I really see her going to the championship. Like she's probably one of my like I actually became a fan this weekend.
No, I'm
But
saying I'm rocking with her heavy now. Like she's
and
she
then her interview was awesome. Like she was talking about like because Juliana Pena was fucking talking shit as usual, and
she don't
she
stop.
goes the interviewer told her she know that Juliana says that she can beat you and Pennington at the same time, and this killed me. This literally killed me because she wasn't speaking English, so they had to go to the translator, and the translator talked to her, told it to her, and she died laughing. She immediately like you just waiting like what do you say? Immediately died laughing like Juliana, I'll see you. Calm down. And respect to you. You've done great things in the sport, but I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you type shit. And I liked how she was giving respect to Holly Holmes because she was like, "Yeah, man, I remember watching Holly Holmes before I even trained in MMA."
Yeah, and that's why you got to put respect on Holly Holm. She's definitely a Hall of Famer in UFC. Like she won a belt. She fought nothing but hitters. She will retire. She's 41 years old and was just ranked like number 3 in in the weight class.
Uh, that's real shit. And the thing about Holly Holmes is that 3 of her last 4 fights have been main events. None of them title fights. And I think that's the only reason why she gets any type of hate because it feels like the UFC is trying to force her down her throats.
Put her at UFC 300. Put the other guy, I can't remember his name, at UFC, Jim Miller, UFC 300. Put like some of the OGs in the prelim and have them all retire.
Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler got one more in him, I think.
Yeah, he know he do. That's the worst part. But that's the card, man. This card was quite exciting on the low.
Definitely was way better than what I was giving it credit for. So I will say it definitely it grew on me. It was a good ass card. I'll give it that.
That boy Paul said it, man. But that's everything we got for y'all boys, man. If you didn't know, I don't mind telling you again that my name is Kev Waterbuster Boy. I'm in this bitch with Paul Pickle when it comes to the drunk gambling. You feel me? And this is the Totally Blitz podcast. And if you didn't know, I don't mind telling you and the dude right next to you that you's a bitch.